Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of the NAU Sports Show. Thank you. Thank you so much for coming on. I hope everyone can hear me okay. Hey, so listen to this. It's been almost a month, maybe a little bit more. No, it's been more than a month since I've been on, and for that, I apologize. But it's been a crazy month. September 25th, I got married. I had a fantastic honeymoon. I was supposed to go back on a couple weeks ago, but my laptop had other ideas and decided to die. Um, and now we're back. So we are live. We are here. We are going. We are working. Okay. So with that, we are in week 10. It is NAU versus UC Davis in Flagstaff. Currently, Northern Arizona sits at 4-4 overall, while being 3-2 in the Big Sky. Now, coming, like I just said, coming to Flagstaff is UC Davis, ranked number 8 nationally, currently sitting at 7-1 overall and 4-1 in the Big Sky. Now, to talk about this game is the Associate Athletic Director, Stayson Isobe. Stayson, how are you, sir?
I'm doing good. Thanks so much, KC, for having me on, and glad that the NAU Sports Show podcast is back up and running.
Thank you so much. I'm very, very happy to be back, and thank you once again for coming back on the show.
Absolutely.
Stayson, I want to first talk to you about a player that has really shown strength on this team, and it's true freshman quarterback RJ Martinez. You know, when he first started this season, in a way, he was the fourth starting quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
And then he was brought in a very good Arizona win against the Pac-12 Wildcats.
Mm-hmm.
And he has been really showing what he can do. What are your thoughts about him, and have you been able to talk to him?
You know, Casey, I haven't been able to personally talk to him one-on-one, but I mean, you look at his play on the field, and he was kind of thrown in. It was baptism by fire out there in Tucson. Came in relief, and obviously we've all talked at length about what happened that night in Tucson. And, he had a tough game out there in Greeley the following week, as did the whole team. But you feel like as the season's gone on, he's really started to settle into that role, really solidified that quarterback spot. And I think the most impressive thing about RJ is he doesn't turn the ball over. He's only thrown a handful of picks this year, and on top of that, he can do damage with his legs as well. He's a true dual threat quarterback that can get out of the pocket, can pick up a first down with his legs, and he's really gotten this offense. They're starting to click, and this is not what we saw from the NAU offense early on in the year. And it's all credit to him and the credit to that offensive staff.
It really is. To make your point, he's only thrown 2 interceptions. He has a average of 65% passing rating through the first 6 games. And so far, he has thrown 1,456 yards. And on top of all of that, he's been added to the Jerry Rice Award watch list.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's some stats that you just can't shrug at.
Absolutely not. And to be named to that Jerry Rice Award list that's given out to the National Freshman of the Year in the FCS. Fellow NAU quarterback, as we all know, Case Cookus, won that award his freshman year, and you never know. I mean, RJ got off, I don't want to say a slow start. He didn't play the first couple of games. So, of course, missing a couple of games worth of stats. But with the way he's playing right now and the potential to pick up some wins, important wins here down the stretch. And who knows, come award season, what's out there for him.
Definitely. Definitely. Now, with NAU being 3-2 in the conference, they are still very much alive in the playoff picture. Have you had a chance to talk to head coach Chris Ball about this coming game tomorrow against UC Davis and how he and the team was doing?
As you mentioned, Casey, I mean, every game is a must win. The playoffs start now, really, for NAU. A loss here in the next 3 weeks most likely knocks them out, at least puts them in a big hole when it comes to the playoff picture. So every game starting with tomorrow night or tomorrow afternoon is going to be a must win. And, Coach Ball and his staff are preparing the guys to go out there. We played really well at home. We won the last 3 games here in the Sky Dome and have played, last 2 games here in the Sky Dome by wide margins over Southern Utah and Idaho State. And we're going to have a great crowd here in the Dome. And we got to go out there and take care of business against a really, really good UC Davis team.
Really good. I have seen them play, and I don't know if they have a chip on their shoulder, but they're trying to play for something. Mm-hmm. And it is NAU's job and opportunity to win at home. Mm-hmm. Now, talking about big wins, the team is coming off of a great win out there in Idaho for the first time playing in Idaho since the early 90s. Yep. That was really fun to watch. Who are some players that has really been able to kind of catch your eye this year?
I think if you look at that Idaho game, you start off with one player on both sides of the ball. That's Kevin Daniels, freshman running back, he, like RJ, kind of bust onto the scene out there in Tucson against Arizona. It's kind of a coming out party for Kevin Daniels, and currently ranked second in the Big Sky in rushing, and for him to put up 177 yards last week against the Vandals. He got Big Sky co-offensive player of the week. He's a guy who's really, like RJ, established a starring role in on the offensive side of the ball. And you look at the defensive side, it's a defense that's been banged up the last couple of weeks. We've lost a number of guys, particularly in the secondary. But the one guy who's kind of held it down there in the defensive backfield is Morgan Vess, senior safety. 2 interceptions last week, 4 for the season, and that last interception was the game sealer. Picking off the Vandals quarterback there with about a minute left in the game, wrapped up that road win. And it's so tough to win on the road here in the Big Sky. And for the Lumberjacks to come out of Moscow with a win last week, courtesy of Morgan Vess, coming up with that game-clinching interception. Those 2 players have really, I think, put their names squarely come postseason time for some postseason honors.
They really have. NAU has really played a lot better this year compared to the last couple of years. They have really become a family. They have really become stronger together, and I really have to say it has a lot to do with this coaching staff, because there's not many coaching staffs in a public university that, to me, is comfortable with sharing faith-based quotes, especially on Twitter, to fans across the nation, and that's kind of special. Hey, something else I want to talk to you about. You and Cody Bashore with NAU Athletics the past couple of years has gotten together and created a fun show
Mhm.
that talks about the athletic department. Um, why don't you tell me about that and tell us what it's all about, what it's called, and how can we watch that?
Absolutely. Thanks Casey for this little bit of a plug here. Timber Talk, presented by Nova Home Loans. It's a show that was a kind of a byproduct of COVID. We here in the athletic department, we used to have weekly coaches radio shows, Lumberjack Live, as a lot of fans probably remember it as, where we was able to get coaches on and talk about the upcoming games and so forth. And obviously when the pandemic hit, we couldn't gather in person. So Timber Talk kind of was born out of that as a kind of a substitute for Lumberjack Live, in person Lumberjack Live. And Cody and I, it's a great source of pride for us. It's kind of our baby that we started from infancy. And I think the best part about Timber Talk is we get to share stories with our student athletes and our coaches. I think a lot of times, Coach Ball and the football team, or Coach Burkhardt and the basketball team, just to name a couple of examples, gets a lot of that media attention just because it's football and it's basketball. And um, what we've been able to do with Timber Talk is shine a light on all of our student athletes here at NAU, and we've got a lot of outstanding championship caliber, championship winning student athletes and coaches. You talk about men's and women's tennis, swimming and diving, and of course cross country. National championship cross country team, and
Definitely.
to be able to highlight a variety of student athletes and coaches, talk about their successes, talk about stuff away from their competitions, from their sports. It's been a lot of fun. We do it on a weekly basis. If anybody wants to catch it, it comes out every Wednesdays at 6 p.m. Local time here in Flagstaff. I know daylight savings is coming up this upcoming weekend, but 6 p.m. local to Flagstaff. You can catch it on nauathletics.com. Catch it on our main at NAU Athletics social media, and tune in. It's a great time, and you get to learn a little bit more about all of our outstanding coaches and student athletes.
Beautiful. Stayson, thank you so much for coming on. Like I said earlier, and like you said too, this game is a must win. It is a huge game to be. Why, if you have the opportunity, in fact, you have the opportunity right now, tell people why they need to go to Flagstaff tomorrow and next Saturday and put butts in seats.
Absolutely. I mean, this Lumberjack football team under Coach Chris Ball, you can sense the tide is turning. You can feel it. You saw it in the spring. They were a play away from possibly sharing the Big Sky Championship in the spring. And, we don't know how the next 3 weeks are going to play out, but we're right there in the playoff picture, as you alluded to, Casey. And that's what you play this for. That's what they've trained since the spring, since March and April. It's to get to November as we are now and to play meaningful games. You want to play meaningful games here in November. That means that you're playing for something, whether that's the Big Sky Championship or you're playing for a playoff spot. And that's what this NAU football team has put themselves in a position to do, is to get into the playoffs. And in back-to-back weeks, starting tomorrow, and of course with the Grizz coming through next Saturday, that's two top 10, top 15 teams coming into our home here in the Sky Dome. And we need all of our fans to come out and support our outstanding football student athletes. And let's cheer them on, because it's been a couple of years since we've been in the playoff picture. And there's no better time to jump on board than now, because you can really sense that this program is turning a corner under Coach Ball. And you might as well get out in front of it and jump on board from the start. So get your tickets. Tickets are available, nauathletics.com/tickets. And we hope to see you here in the Sky Dome. It's going to be a great couple of games, and hopefully a great couple of Lumberjack wins.
Perfect, Stayson. You couldn't have said it any better. Thank you once again for coming on. Until next week, I hope all of you have a fantastic rest of your week. Enjoy Saturday's game. And until next time, always root NAU. Have a good
Go
one.
Jacks.